here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in.
Who?
Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hello. 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 How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very, very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Good day, good evening, good morning. Welcome on in, guys and girls. How are we all doing? Had a long weekend last weekend, so we didn't stream on Monday, but it's Thursday today, and we thought we better pull our fingers out and get our backsides into gear. How are we all doing? I hope you're well. Tom in the house. G'day, mate. Good to see you. Leslie's here. Dana's here. Excellent work, Dana. Thank you for the resub. 57 months all up. That's a long time. That's nearly 5 years, you know. That's a hell of a long time. Hope you're all well. Some news. So we're going to make a new neck for this guy here. Why? Because I had someone play it and they want it, but they want a new neck. So that's fine because it's going to be something that they are more suitable for. So we're going to customize this guy and maybe get Mary off to a new owner, which would be not a bad thing to do. Better than her lying around. So we're going to start a new neck for her today. And the materials are quite different, but it's one that we're happy with. So I'll show you those in a minute. We've got an ash neck, a very white silver ash neck. This is the choice. Quite contrasting. Does suit them, the light maple on those rings, and it blends in nicely. But it's quite a contrasting fretboard. We're going for an ebony that's a mixture of browns and darks and lights. This guy here is what the owner chose, and that's because
Mom,
it's going
somebody
to
just followed
contrast
me.
nicely and give it a little bit of variety. Chocolate, some more chocolate with that bronze. So all up, it's going to look pretty good, I think. And we're going to do that today and get started on that. So that's the news for that one, which is good. How exciting. It is exciting. On the sale rack, well, you know, she wasn't, but I wanted to see if I could, someone picked her up and said, can I have this? I said, yeah, you can. But can we change the neck? I said, yeah, you can. So there's the body again, guys and girls. So we'll tell you about that. That's the one that's going to be put away now so we don't damage that. We're going to put the little cover on it and get that ready to at least put away and get a new neck made for this girl. As you can see, it's going to be quite a very contrasting, but it should work nicely with the gold hardware, I think. So anyway, who am I to judge what somebody's personal tastes are? There we go. We'll pop that guy in there like that. We'll screw that down and we'll get rid of that guy so that we can then proceed with the neck build. Let me find some screws. We've got our knobs here. Look like two little gold. Here they are. That's one. And there'll be another screw. Now, Terry and Dana will be excited. Tom might be as well. Leslie might be as well. the divot below the cover, that's to get your finger in there and to pull that out. It's quite tight in there, so it gives you a little, it's a little finger hole, a little groove that I worked in there, just to give it a little access point to remove that cover. It's very tight in there, that's why it makes it a lot easier. And we don't want to be scratching up, trying to lift that guy out of there with something sharp around this very clear finish. So that's what that's for. A thumb slot, yeah, pretty much. A little finger slot. Helps you just get that guy out of there. Okay, cool. So I've got the doors open, so if you see me duck out, it's because I'm waiting on a guitar case to arrive for that acoustic so I can ship it to the owner. We're going to pop this guy in here like so. I'm going to just screw that one in there. I'll get another gold screw somewhere here. Here we go. Get a gold screw out of the cabinet and I'll put that in there, but I'll just tie this one down so we don't go walkabout. Like so. And put that guy away. Lock that up. There we go. All right, so let's plan this guy, shall we? So here's our old neck. We're going to take the hardware off that. We're going to leave it on for now, so it's in a good place. It ain't going to walk away, get misplaced somewhere. Now, the good news that I have is also I've got all these new containers. I've got these drawer containers to restock and resort and save and store my bits and pieces. They're quite nice. There are little units that fit lovely well into the cabinets that I've got here, but they've got little drawers so I don't have to pull things in and out all the time. I can find things. Yes, you'll love them. So I'll show you. Hang on a sec, guys. I've just got to receive. There we go, he just arrived, so now we can relax. Okay, that was Buddy getting into the car and being taken away to his friend's house. All right, so the guitar case is in. We might have a look at that later on and see what we're dealing with, but let's get started on this guy. Porch Pirates, absolutely, Tom. It needed to be signed because I think this company that they're called Swamp Industries. They're quite a good local manufacturer based in Australia. They make really good economically priced cases. They're not over the top. They do have some good, really nice touring flight cases and stuff. But for everyday use, they make a really good, moderately priced solution, and it's practical and they're really solid and they're really good. I always use them for electrics and for acoustics. And I think they used to always deliver and just leave them outside outside the workshop door, just leaning up against the wall there. But yeah, they've changed their policy. They must have had a couple of little Porch Pirates take off, you know, and I guess, you know, it's about trusting both your drivers and, you know, the areas where you leave some of these things. So yes, signatures are all the rage now, apparently. At least he's got evidence that I picked it up. Hey, Gatto, what's going on? What is going on, my friend? Welcome on in. Good to see you. Right, so here's our little doobie whacker. Now, we must not cut this up yet because we need to work. It has a slightly wider neck pocket than standard by about 1/4 of an inch, not a quarter, about 1/8. So we're going to size the heel to fit into that existing pocket. That's what makes retro or refit necks a little bit different to the standard. If they're not made from the same template that the body was, you might have some custom work done and you'll have to replicate that pocket. It's only about measurement and getting it right. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by measuring all this up, marking it up, getting a template on here and establishing where those boundaries are and where those edges are. Doobie whacker, that's the one. So This side's nice. There's some beautiful colours. You can't see that. Ah, there we go. It's got a really nice tone of gold and hue through there. Much like a maple, it's a cross between a cross between a maple and a silky oak. So you've got a little bit of pitting or bird's eye type of grain, but it's also very, very straight as well. So there's a lot of radial marks through there. It's beautifully quarter sawn, so it should do the job really nicely. We're going to use this as the back because there's more markings there, and that should carve out and really pop. So we're going to use this side here, which has got some darker tan spots, which look a bit out of place. We're going to put the fretboard over there. And so that's our face at the top that we're going to work with. I'm going to grab my template. I'm going to take some measurements of the old body. I shouldn't have put it away. And we're going to measure that out. Just the old neck pocket. Make sure the width is correct and tight as a fish's orifice. Watertight. So we're going to measure that. Going to use our calipers, get that back edge measured out nicely. .58. It's normally 56 to 54 to 56. So it's about 1/8 of an inch wider than I want it from a standard neck, which is fine because this neck is going to be, the thickness is right, the width is going to be perfect. It's going to be a 12-inch radius and not as flat at the first fret as the old neck, which was really, 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 really flat and thin. So it's going to be more of a standard C shape. Yeah, it's all centered, so I think we're going to be fine because the other neck was centered and beautifully spaced. The trick will be in the nut, but the radius is the same, so we should be fine there. But also we've got to be really precise, as you said, Tom. So 58 is going to be over, but that's what we start with, and then we shave and get that to lock in. So better to be tight than loose. 58 is exactly where we want to be. Double check that again. Always measure this guy a couple of times. Look at that, 57.99. So 58 is going to be really good. Okay, I think we're good to go with 58 millimeters. Now, that means we can make an adjustment here. First things first is a center line is needed. Let's write that down. .58 millimeters at the heel. We'll grab our center line. Let's get our center line working, and we can reference everything off that. Now this is a very long neck. There's going to be some scrap left over, which is good. I might make some pickup rings just to have as spares lying around. You can never underestimate the use of scrap. Okay, that's a long way. That's a 32-inch neck. It's actually a base neck. I mean, you could use this on a base. It's 32 inches. You could pretty much use that as a base neck. 32.5 inches, 34. That's you could always make almost a through neck, not quite, but yeah, you could almost make a through neck with it. Okay, let's get the measurements. Now this should be 90. I'll just check both ends because sometimes it's not. It's 100. It's extra wide, so it's 4 inches exactly. Okay, cool. Let's get our sharp pencil. Let's measure the halfway mark. It's exactly 100 millimeters, so that means 50 is the magic mark. Check this end, make sure it is square and it isn't thinner at one end or tapered. No, it's exactly 10, so it's beautifully sawn and neat and square. Let's draw that center line through there so we know what we're working with.